Good morning, everyone. So I am in the car and I am actually at Aldi's right now. I need to get some groceries because I am out. Mainly, I go shopping whenever I need bunny food, and then if I need food myself, I get it then too. So basically, the only reason I'm going shopping today is because the bunnies need food. I would have just scoured around my kitchen and found something. I know I mentioned a couple of days ago that I went out to Walmart and I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many people here. I don't know why. And today at Aldi's, there was literally like a traffic jam to get into the parking lot, and the parking lot's completely full, and this store isn't like super popular. Like Walmart's more popular than Aldi's, and so I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know if this is like a vacation week, like why is there so many cars in this town? I have no idea why, but I shouldn't complain. I live in a tiny town, and like big towns have like so many more cars. But sometimes with anxiety, shopping with a lot of people around makes it like 10 times worse. And one of my biggest issues is shopping. Like, it's not so much the anxiety, but I think almost the sensory overload I get. So this should be interesting. Also, I struggle a lot with Aldi's. I think it's their light. They're like, the way their lighting looks like makes me super overwhelmed. So we'll see how this goes, and I hope I have a quarter so that I can use the shopping cart. If you didn't know, you need a quarter at Aldi to shop. So I got done shopping at Aldi's, and there's my bags in the back. I'm at Walmart because Walmart has stuff that Aldi's doesn't, which is why I considered even going to Aldi in the first place, because I always have to go to Walmart afterwards and get extra stuff. But Aldi is cheaper, which is why I decided to do it. I don't know, I kind of just feel like maybe I should just not go there, because like I said beforehand, Aldi is not a very good place for me anxiety wise. Just like, I don't even know what it is. It's something about the building. Like, nothing bad has happened to me there before. I think it's just like the atmosphere and maybe the noises that the checkout makes. And I really don't know, but that's just my guess. And I always get like super worked up in there. I don't want to just avoid it because that's feeding the anxiety. Like, avoiding something is just making the anxiety worse. But if I could shop somewhere else and not like come out of there exhausted and like so hyped up, maybe it would just be worth it. I don't know, because I honestly don't know what it is. If it was like, oh, I'm afraid of, like, the anxiety is of this or the anxieties of that, like maybe I could just get over it. But I don't know, I just can't like pinpoint exactly what it is. But it's always been Aldi's has made me feel that way, and I just don't know why. So, and I also wonder if part of it is like somewhat my POTS, like my heart rate starts getting up because I'm on my feet and I'm walking, you know, I feel my heart rate rising, and then that triggers my anxiety. Like, I don't even know. So I don't know if like if I was in a wheelchair, like would I have the same anxiety or not, because my heart rate wouldn't rise. Like, I don't know. It's just hard sometimes to figure out anxiety because you don't know what the trigger is behind it, and that's the hard part. Like, once you can figure that out, you can start treating that. But I don't even know what it is, and I don't even know if it's worth finding out, because for the limited of times I do go to Aldi, like, I could just go somewhere else. So I am back from the store. I actually had to drive home, pick up some Etsy packages, and then drive back to the post office because I forgot to bring them with me when I like initially went. So I was kind of mad at myself about that, but it really wasn't a big deal because we live like fairly close to town, so it really isn't that big of a deal just to go back in and drop off the packages. So I ended up doing that, and I just finished eating lunch. I figured out part of the reason I was getting overwhelmed in Aldi. It was partially my heart rate, and it wasn't due to anxiety, because later, like after I got out of Aldi and after I came home and everything, it was still bothering me. So I took my pulse ox out, and oh, here it is. And my heart rate was like, when I started feeling that feeling again, I checked my heart rate, and my heart rate was over 160 beats per minute. Which is pretty high. So it was probably at like 160 the whole time I was shopping, which is why I felt so horrible. And then my anxiety fed off of that and just kind of made everything worse. So yeah, ever since then, like, I tried, like, I was like squatting down for some reason, and then I stood up and I really felt horrible. Like, I didn't pass out, but the pre-syncope episode lasted a really long time, and it was really hard for me to recover from it. Like, normally a pre-syncope episode can like just come and go in like a couple seconds and then I'm fine, but this one took me like several minutes to recover from, so I bet I was probably super close to actually passing out. I don't know, I'm trying to decide what to do, because even though my heart rate sometimes feels fine, like I just got up and put my plate in the kitchen and I was like, oh, I don't even feel that bad, and I took my heart rate and it was still at 130, which is fairly high, but I didn't feel bad. So I feel like if I just keep pushing myself, it's not going to be healthy because it's just a really high heart rate. So I called the doctor about the medication I was on because I did not take it this morning, which I don't know if that's why I'm worse, but I kind of feel like I've never been this bad until I took that medication. So I think it's just the side effects from it. So I called them and I'm like, can you please call me back? I have some questions about the medication that I'm on. And I got a call back, but my phone was on vibrate and I was cooking my lunch and I totally missed it. I'm so mad at myself. I called the phone number back and left a message, but they haven't called me back yet. So if I don't get a phone call soon, I might just keep trying to call the number, like not leave a message, but just keep calling it and see if I can get in. Because this clinic, like, I love the doctor, but I feel like the staff isn't always the friendliest and isn't always the best there. Like, normally I feel like, I don't know, I feel like almost all clinics are kind of like that. Like the staff or receptionists aren't always the friendliest, but I don't know. I guess you just kind of have to deal with it. And I never closed the vlog off yesterday because I didn't film like anything at all, and today I haven't really filmed anything either. So it is 5:13 if I can read the clock. I totally couldn't. It is 6:11. I don't know how I got that. I am just now sitting down to vlog. I basically all morning worked. I don't even remember what I did. I like cleaned my office, I worked, I made supper, and then I worked some more. And I'm very thankful for today because the past couple days I've been extremely drowsy and have only been able to work a couple hours every day. And today I was able to work probably double of what I have been able to do. So that was really good. I think it's because of the POTS medication I was on. It was just making me super drowsy. So now that I'm off of it, I am able to do things again, which is nice. And I haven't had as high of heart rates that I know of. I actually haven't taken my heart rate yet today, but simply because I didn't feel like I had to. I didn't have any like super bad times. There was like one time today, maybe like a couple times today, that it was probably pretty high, but it wasn't like constant, which was good. The doctor called and we decided to do a different medication for my POTS. So I am being placed on 2 new medications for my POTS, and we discontinued the last drug, which was Midodrine. I believe that's what it's called, Midodrine. And that's the one that made me feel really sick. So I decided to stop taking that one, and they told me to start taking propranolol, which I've been on before, and I've been on it for anxiety because it has been known to help anxiety. So going on it again, I'm not that scared because I've been on it twice before and it helps decrease anxiety, so that's pretty cool. And the reason I had to get off of it last time was it does potentially drop your blood pressure. Because of that, I have naturally low blood pressure, so when I'm on it, it tends to drop it even lower, which last time I had to get off of it because it was just too low of a blood pressure for me. But this time I'm just gonna try again, and if it does drop really low again, what I'm gonna do is take a second medication called Florinef. I believe that's the name of it. I've been prescribed this before and I decided not to take it because I hadn't officially been diagnosed with POTS, and I didn't want to take a medication that would hinder my diagnosis, if that makes sense. I struggle with Florinef just because it is very commonly used in POTS, but I thought I've heard some people say that it's not good to be on it long term. This doctor, however, told me that they never have seen any bad side effects staying on it long term, which is good, but it is also a steroid, which makes me nervous because it does have the potential for weight gain, which I've always been very slim my whole life. Like, I've actually struggled more with weight loss than weight gain, so it probably won't do that to me. I've also been on like medications for my depression that have been known to cause weight gain, and I never had any weight gain with it. So I could be fairly fine on it, but it does make me a little nervous because I've heard of some people who gained like 30 pounds on it, and I'm just like, oh my word, I hope that doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm really nervous taking it, which is why I'm starting the propranolol first, because if the propranolol works on its own, I'm not gonna take the Florinef, so that's good. Anyways, I'm just sitting on the couch and Milo is like purring up a storm. He's kind of mad at me because I've been in my office all day, and he also didn't sleep with me last night because Lulu's in my room now, which I kind of showed a clip of me putting together Lulu's cage, but yes, she is in my room now. So because of that, Milo doesn't get to sleep with me, so he's kind of desperate for attention. I think it's funny when you like scratch them on their ears and they try to scratch with their leg. Oh, I can't get him to do it anymore. It is now late. It is 9:52. I have fed all the animals. I think I still have to feed the hermit crabs, which I forgot to put that in my nightly routine. Feeding my hermit crabs. Where's the tank? Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah. So I forgot to put feeding the hermit crabs in my nightly routine. But yeah, I need to feed the hermit crabs and I need to give Milo his water, but otherwise I am done. I didn't film like anything, but that's kind of a good thing. It's not a good thing I didn't film, but it's a good thing that I was busy because that means I was fairly productive. Something that I struggle with a lot with, I don't know if it's my anxiety or depression, like they kind of all intertwine, it's all my mental health, but something that I struggle with a lot is negative self-talk. And for example, today I was able to work a lot more than I was previously, like the last couple of days, and instead of being very happy for myself and allowing myself to just relax now that it's almost 10 o'clock, I negative self-talk myself a lot by saying, you should have done more, or you wasted so much time doing this, you should have been doing this, or you'll never be good enough, you'll never do enough, and all that stuff. And it's just hard because with your thoughts, like thoughts are automatic. They come into your mind without, you can't control what thoughts pop into your head. And when you have mental illness, you tend to grab onto those negative or untrue thoughts and give them power. So part of therapy and part of, I don't know if it's CBT, I think it's CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is instead of grabbing on to those negative thoughts. You take them and you work through them. So for example, if I was to say, you didn't do enough today. Okay, is that a fact? No, there was no agenda. I didn't really have a set of list of things I needed to do today. So that is not true. I didn't not complete what I needed to. A fact is that I did complete a lot more today than I have the previous 2 days. So that means I got done a lot more than, you know, average, which is great. So I should be focusing on the thought of, wow, I got a lot done today, instead of you could have done so much more. So it's confusing, and it's not natural for my brain to work that way, to like pick things apart. I'm getting there, and I am a lot better than I was 7 months ago, and that's good. That's it for today's vlog. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys soon on a new one. Bye.